Life as an emperor penguin, a survival story. You break into the world through a tiny crack, the only escape from the shell that's held you for the last 2 months. And your grand reward? A slap of brutal Antarctic wind that feels like nature itself is testing your will to survive. There's no warm welcome or soft embrace, just ice, wind, and more ice. Welcome to the harsh reality of the Antarctic. Your father's been standing guard over your egg this whole time. No food, no rest, no distractions. Just endless weeks of holding his ground in hurricane-force winds, doing his best impression of a living space heater. And now that you've hatched? He glances down at you, lets out a tired sigh, and finally heads off to find something to eat. Honestly, he's earned it. You're 2 days old and already abandoned on the iciest, most unforgiving place on Earth. You're surrounded by thousands of other chicks, all equally lost and cold. Food? Maybe later. Dad's out skating across endless sheets of ice, battling sub-zero temperatures to reach the ocean. Once there, he'll dive into near-freezing water, risking predators and exhaustion, all to bring back a stomachful of partially digested fish for you. Meanwhile, you're stuck in the blizzard, doing your best to survive as a tiny puffball with no clue what's going on. Thankfully, you've got company, other chicks just as fluffy, confused, and miserable. Together, you form huddles, penguin-style group hugs that are less about bonding and more about not freezing to death. You quickly learn that the huddle is your lifeline. Stray from the group, and you risk becoming a snack for a skua, one of the giant, sharp-beaked birds constantly circling overhead. So you stay close, waddling clumsily to keep up. It's warm inside the huddle, but cramped, noisy, and smells like a fish market in a heat wave. Every chick takes turns rotating to the center for warmth, which sounds fair, until you realize that being in the middle also means you're more likely to get pooped on. Small price to pay, though. Better than being frozen or eaten. Then, just when you're ready to give up, your dad returns. And has brought food. Sure, it's half-digested fish regurgitated directly into your mouth, but after days of hunger, it might as well be fine dining. You slurp it down like it's a gourmet meal, knowing full well he'll be gone again soon, back to the ocean for another round. Time passes, and you grow stronger. Your fuzzy coat thickens, and you start waddling with a bit more purpose. But the blizzards remain relentless. One wrong gust and you're sliding across the ice like a hockey puck. Walking is still a struggle, those giant feet weren't made for grace. Still, you're a penguin. Awkward waddling is part of the deal. Eventually, the time comes to leave the colony. You're heading to the ocean for the first time, ready to dive into your new life. But the sea doesn't greet you kindly, it smacks you with icy water that freezes your bones. Below the surface, danger lurks in the form of leopard seals, stealthy, powerful predators always on the lookout for a clumsy chick. The good news? You're built for swimming. Underwater, your flippers transform you into a sleek, nimble torpedo. The bad news? Leopard seals are still faster. Out here, it's simple, eat or be eaten. You've got no plans of becoming anyone's lunch, so you swim fast, stay alert, and learn on the go. Over the next few months, you dodge predators, chase fish, and start to feel like you know what you're doing. You're not the same helpless chick anymore. But you're also not quite an expert. You've entered penguin adolescence, old enough to survive, young enough to make a few dumb mistakes. Life at sea isn't easy. Freedom means fending for yourself. Every meal is a chase, and fish don't exactly volunteer to be caught. All the while, danger is never far. The leopard seals still haunt the deep, and you stay sharp because the moment you relax is the moment you disappear. And then there's the plastic. It drifts across the ocean, bright and wiggly, pretending to be food. You almost bite. But something deep in your instincts tells you to steer clear. One bite of that, and it's game over. It's hard enough staying alive without choking on human trash. Loneliness sets in too. You spend months alone, occasionally passing by other young penguins, each too focused on survival to say hello. No small talk. No bonding. Just the quiet, cold rhythm of staying alive. Years pass, and something shifts inside you. A pull, a whisper. Maybe it's instinct. Maybe you're just tired of running solo. Either way, you head back, to the colony, to where it all began. And it's still a chaotic mess. But this time, you're not a helpless chick. You're here to find a mate. Easy? Not even close. Every penguin around is trying to show off their best waddle and perfect pitch. The competition is fierce. Eventually, you find someone who doesn't hate your voice and can tolerate your clumsiness. That's as close to love as it gets here. You partner up. You take turns guarding the egg, just like your dad once did. Standing in the cold for weeks, keeping it warm, trying not to lose your mind. Suddenly, you understand why your father looked so exhausted back then. Parenthood in Antarctica is no joke. Now, you're an adult emperor penguin. One of the few creatures built to survive this frozen hell. You've seen the worst, the storms, the hunger, the predators. And somehow, you're still standing. But age creeps in. Your flippers are slower, the dives take more out of you, and the cold feels sharper. The ice, once familiar, now seems more unforgiving. One day, while chasing fish, you see it again, a leopard seal. You've escaped them before, countless times. But this time, something's off. You're slower, tired, vulnerable. Maybe you survive. Maybe not. Either way, you're no longer invincible. Life for an emperor penguin rarely ends with a dramatic final battle. Most just fade. They grow old, grow tired, and eventually, the ice reclaims them. The ocean swallows them back. And the cycle begins again.